Hello colleagues, this is Calvin. I want to welcome you once again today to this particular tutorial on guidelines for recruitment of secondary school teachers. Uh, Stay with me up to the end, and we are going to start straight away. We are going to look at the following. We are going to look at general information. 2. Factors that may increase your chance of getting the T.S.C job. 3. The selection panel. 4. Documents to present. 5. The T.S.C score sheet. 6. Some important notes. 7. Cases of dissatisfaction. So we look at general information. So the first general information that you must have is that the panel, remember during interview you will meet a panel. So this panel is expected to exercise high level of transparency and accountability. That is a must. There must be transparency and high level of fairness in the whole of the exercise. 2. All applicants must be registered teachers. So all the applicants must be T.S.C registered teachers. 3. Those applicants without registration certificates are supposed to attach printout for application for registration. This one will verify that actually this applicant applied for registration certificate. 4. The date, time, and venue for interview is supposed to be displayed at the county, zonal, and even the institution's notice boards. 5. The head of institution is supposed to communicate to shortlisted applicants through short message services, that is SMS, at least 7 days before the interview date. Then another information that normally sometimes in case of a tie, then there are some aspects that will be considered to break or in breaking the tie. Sometimes two teachers may be tying in position 1. So aspects that are supposed to be considered in breaking that tie, 1 is disability. So if at all one of the teachers who are tying is disabled, then the disabled one is supposed to be given that job. 2. The age of the applicants. So the age should be 44 to 45 with 3 years teaching experience and has never been employed by T.S.C. So if an applicant satisfies that particular aspect, then is the one to be taken for the job. Then another one is quality of the T.S.C certificates. So when looking at quality of the T.S.C certificate to break the tie, we are looking at the grade, the overall grade. So when the certificates of the teachers who are tying are compared, when there's one of them with a better grade, with a better overall grade, then is the one to be picked for the job. Then sometimes they may be even tying in the overall grade. So if that is the case, then now we trickle down to the subjects, the teaching subjects. So we look at the teaching subjects now to break the tie. So the one with the best grades in those teaching subjects, that is the applicant to be picked for the job. So again, another aspect that we look at to break the tie is previously not been employed by the T.S.C. So if one of the applicants is who are tying, one of them have previously never been employed by the T.S.C, then that is enough to break the tie. that is the applicant who is going to be picked, because he has never been employed by the T.S.C. So those are the 4 aspects that we look at when, if at all there is a tie during the interview. So we look at disability, we look at the age, we look at the quality of the KC certificate, then we look at whether been previously employed by the T.S.C. or not. So those are the 4 aspects that we look at to break the tie. Then another general information that we must have is that those applicants, for those of us who are who had been terminated from the job, are supposed to give a detailed detailed reasons for the termination before applying for the job. So you must give reasons for termination in your application. For those who are previously terminated from T.S.C. job, when they want to apply for the job again, once again, then now they're supposed to be giving reasons why they got terminated before they applied for the second job. Otherwise, they are not going to be considered. They are not even supposed to apply if they are not going to give the detailed reasons for their termination. Another general information that we should be having, if an applicant was offered a job by T.S.C., if an applicant happened to have been offered a job by T.S.C. sometimes back and failed to take up the job, that applicant is not eligible to apply for another job or for a second time. Is not eligible to apply. So that is very important. Then another information touches on fake documents. So applicants with fake documents commit an offense and shall be disqualified and considered for the registration, subject to disciplinary process. So I urge all those who are going to participate to ensure that those certificates are authentic certificates. So that is the general information. As an applicant, you should have all that information. So we move to the next part. That is factors that will increase your chance for getting employed. So there are some few factors that may increase the chance of a particular teacher getting employment. So one, we want to say that qualified teachers who have masters, those who happen to have master's degree, will have upper hand in securing T.S.C. jobs. 2, those teachers with first-class honors, they normally stand high chances of scooping those T.S.C. jobs. 3, those teachers who have stayed for long since graduation, those ones also have got upper hand in securing those T.S.C. jobs. 4, there are certain subject combinations like physics, chemistry, biology, agriculture, chemistry, biology. These subject combinations, teachers are really few in those areas. So currently teachers are very, very few in those areas. So you find that they're very easily absorbed. Those teachers who go for those combinations, they are easily absorbed because they are currently very, very few in the field. So those are some of the factors that may increase your chance of getting employed. We move to another area, that is the panel. So the panel, you expect to meet a panel on the day of interview. So the selection panel consists of the following 7 members. 1, BOM chair, that will be the chair of the panel. Then 2 members of the BOM, of the school's BOM. So 2 members of the school's BOM will be members of the panel. Head of the school, the secretary of the panel. Deputy head of the school, member of the panel. subject specialist, member of the panel, T.S.C county director, or a representative that will also be a member of the panel. So on the day of the interview, you expect those 7 members. You expect those 7 members on the day of the interview. So very important to know that before the date of the interview. The next part is documents. So the first issue that we must be aware of is that provisional transcripts shall not be accepted when you are applying for these jobs. So you don't use provisional transcripts to apply for these jobs or to use in the interview, during the interview. They are not accepted. Again, where the names of the applicant, differ in different documents, then this applicant is supposed to carry what we call sworn affidavit to take care of that, to explain that. So when your name differ in some few documents, then you are supposed to provide what we call sworn affidavit to take care of that. So these are the documents that you are supposed to carry during the interview. So 1, national ID card. 2, National Council of Persons with Disability, where applicable. So National Council of Persons with Disability card, where applicable. Then you are supposed to carry KCP certificate. Another one is KCAC certificate. When you happen to have repeated some time back, you repeated Form 4, then it is in order for you to carry first attempt certificate. So you must carry your first attempt certificate if you repeated Form 4. Then 5, we have also diploma or degree certificates and official transcripts. So the diploma, degree certificate, and official transcript, those ones you have to carry. They're the most important. Then 6, then we have primary and secondary living certificates. Those are also very, very important. So you carry your primary, both primary and secondary living certificates. So those are the documents that you are supposed to carry with you during the date of interview. Then we also have, now this is the most important part of the interview, the score sheet. So the score sheet consists of 3 parts. Part A, where we award marks for qualification. Then we have Part B, where we award marks for length of stay at home. Then Part C, where we award marks for communication ability, participation in co-curricular activities, academic performance, and special talents. So we have those 3 parts. So we'll discuss those parts one by one. So the first one is awarding of marks for qualification. So we have various qualifications. So they have been put in different tables. So B.Ed degree, Bachelor of Education degree. This is how awarding of marks, scoring of awarding of marks happens. So we have scoring areas and we have maximum score. So those applicants with first class, they are going to scoop the maximum marks in this area. So they are going to scoop 35 marks. Then we have second class upper, who are going to take away 30 marks. Then we are going to have second class lower with the 25 marks. And then we have, lastly, we have those with the pass are going to scoop 20 marks. So when you look at this, these marks, they they decrease by 5 all the way down up to pass. So the maximum marks one can scoop here is 35 when you have the best, when you attain the highest qualification. So you'll attain 35 marks, you'll be given 35 marks. So that is for B.Ed degree. Then we have to look at another area, those with Bachelor of Arts with PGD or Bachelor of Science with PGD. So this table is for taking care of Bachelor of Arts with PGD and Bachelor of Science with PGD. So those with first class, again, they are going to scoop the maximum marks. They are going to get 35. Second class upper, 30. If you have second class lower, you are going to get 25 in this area. When you have pass, you are going to get 20 marks, which will be the least marks so far. So if you are a Bachelor of Arts with PGD or a Bachelor of Science with PGD, then this is how you will be scoring marks. This is the table for you. Then we also have diploma with the diploma technical education. So this is the table to be used in awarding marks to diploma with the diploma technical education. So here now you can see, as you can see, scoring areas now differ, and even maximum score also differ with the other ones we have looked at. So here we have the best so far is distinction, and as you can see, distinction will be awarded 25 points or marks. Then followed by credit. So if you have credit, you attained credit, you'll get 20 marks. If you attained pass, then you are going to be given 15 marks in this area if you are a diploma with diploma technical education. So the maximum marks here is 25. Then we move to the next area, diploma in education. So when you look at diploma in education, again, is similar. The score sheet is similar to diploma with diploma in technical education. So the scoring areas here, we have distinction, which will get 25. If an applicant has credit and is a diploma in education, it's going to get 20. If an applicant has pass and is a diploma in education, it's going to get 15. So the maximum marks here is 25 for diploma in education. So again, we have to note that the maximum marks for the whole of part A, the maximum marks for qualification is 35. 35 is the maximum marks for qualification. So if you have the highest qualification, then you stand a chance of scooping 35. Then apart from that, we have to note something very, very important here, which has never been there, evidence of internship service. So if you are an applicant who was providing some internship service, then you are in a position of getting 10 marks on top of 35, so that you will have a maximum of 45 marks. If you were in an internship service, you are better placed, but you have 10 marks on top of 35. So it means those people who are in internship services, they are in better place of scooping those jobs. Then another part B. Part A was qualification. Part B, we look at awarding of marks for length of stay since graduation. Awarding of marks for length of stay since graduation. So when you look at this table, you can easily tell that those people who have stayed at home for long, they will scoop highest marks. They will get highest scores. So when you look at 2012 and before, you see that we are giving the maximum mark there, 50. Then we move to 2013 with 45, 2014 with 40. So the marks will be decreasing with by 5 all through down to 2020 and beyond. So when you are 2020 and beyond, so we are talking about 2020 and beyond, you will scoop the least mark in this area. So that means those who have stayed at home for long, they are better. They have a upper hand in scooping jobs because they will automatically get a lot of marks. Again, we can look at awarding of marks for length of stay since graduation for those tutors who were previously employed by T.S.C. So if you look at this table again, 2020, now this is now different. You look at this table, is different. 2020 and after, that means 2020 and beyond. Now, for those, when we consider length of stay since graduation for those previously employed by T.S.C, then 2020 and after will have 50 marks. 50 marks. Then 2019 to 2018 will have 45. So for these brackets of years, we have marks decreasing by 5 down to 2007 and before. So if you are 2007 and before, then you will only receive 10 marks. You will only receive 10 marks. So this table, that's how it's awarding marks on those year brackets. And the maximum score here is 50 marks maximum. That's the maximum score. So another thing that I want to mention is that Part B, if you look at Part B1 and Part B2, you will either fall here or fall here in Part B2. So you will be marked using this section Part B1 or Part B2 in order for you to scoop 40. You scoop 50 marks. Remember, you have scooped already Part A, you have scooped 45 marks. So Part B, we are scooping 50 marks maximum again. So this area will give the applicant 5 marks maximum. 5 marks maximum. So communication ability will give 2 marks. Participation in co-curriculum activity will give 1 mark. Student academic performance in exams will give you 1 mark. Special talents, if any, will give you 1 mark. So the maximum score in this area will be 5 marks. But there's something I want to mention in Part C. In Part C, you should provide evidence. You should provide evidence. For example, participation in curriculum activity, you should be able to provide some certificates. Some certificates that you have in that area. So in student academic performance, exam records, you are supposed to provide some evidence in terms of broadsheet, for example, showing how your students have been performing, even in KCSE, even in some internal exams. So you should be able to provide evidence, tangible evidence, so that the panel are satisfied. So there we will get 5 marks maximum. So when you have all those marks, when you put them together, we'll have 100 marks. Part A will give you 45, Part B will give you 50, Part C will give you 5 marks. So a total of 100 marks. So next, there's some important points that you should note. One, that when you have a good command in communication, this will put you at a better position to be considered. So when your communication skills and even the way you communicate, when you communicate well, then this will advantage you a great deal. So make sure that your communication is very good, so that you stand a better chance in becoming the successful or the winner in this particular case. Two, confidence. So your confidence, convincing confidence level will also increase your chance to secure the job. So you should be able to have a high level of convincing confidence to be able to secure those jobs. Then three, grooming is very important. So ensure that your grooming is impressive, and most of the time they will look at your grooming as the first impression that you'll be creating. So when you get into the interview room, remember the panel are looking at you. They're looking at you, and the first impression that you create is coming out of your grooming. So the grooming should be impressive. Then four, the content mastery. The content mastery is very crucial, because if you're not going to show to the panel that you are the best teacher in that particular subject area, then they are going to they're not going to take you. So make sure you prove to them that your content mastery is very excellent, is very commendable, so that you are taken as the best teacher in that particular area, and that will make you secure that particular job. So up to that end, we can look at cases of dissatisfaction. That will be the final part. So when an applicant feels that the panel has not done the proper or correct decision, if you feel that the panel didn't make the correct decision as far as the interview is concerned, then you are supposed to write to the T.S.C. county director through a formal letter detailing all your complaints there. So you should do this not later than 7 days after the selection exercise. So within the 7 days after the selection exercise, when you have a complaint, you are supposed to write a formal letter to the T.S.C. county director detailing all those complaints, and a copy should be sent to the T.S.C. headquarters. So you have to send a copy of the same to the T.S.C. headquarters for a follow-up. So remember, when you write this letter within 7 days, the T.S.C. county director is also supposed to act within 7 days. So that is what you should do when you feel dissatisfied. So up to there, colleagues, we are through with the tutorial. I want to wish you well. I want to wish you well in your undertakings as you prepare to go for these interviews. Please just be confident. Just be confident that you'll be the best candidate. Otherwise, thank you. Welcome for the next tutorial.